As I mentioned at the top of the show, the island and the people of Puerto Rico are hurting and in need of help. Now, the devastation left behind by Hurricane Maria is unprecedented and has been categorized as an American tragedy. Power is still out in most places, and communication remain almost non-existent on the island of 3.4 million. Now, federal officials have acknowledged that recovery hasn't been ideal. Locally, the impact hits home, as Massachusetts has the 5th largest population of Puerto Ricans in the continental United States. In Boston, nearly 33,000 residents identify as Puerto Rican, and over 25% of Boston's Latino population identify as Puerto Rican. Since the hurricane hit, local grassroots efforts have sprung up across the Commonwealth. One such effort has been spearheaded by my next guest, as the Puerto Rican Festival of Massachusetts has held community meetings and has been a resource to many in the community who are wanting to help. Here to tell us more is the Director of Communications of the festival and our good friend Greg Molina. Welcome to Revista Hispana.
Al, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I've been watching you on Facebook. You personally have been putting it on Facebook.
Right.
The festival has. I saw a community meeting 2 weeks ago held in a packed room out at Urban Edge. So tell me how you guys got involved. You went from this committee that does this festival to now a resource.
It's funny because that really was never our role. Our role was always to try to put the best event that we could to provide cultural awareness of the Puerto Rican community. And as soon as Maria hit, I mean, the next day we got bombarded with phone calls and emails and texts saying, what are you going to do? What is the festival going to do? We're not hearing what we want to hear from our local leaders. So I sat down with Eddie Alicea, our president, and some board members, and we said we have to act. We have to do something. We know we're not a social organization or a community organization, but let's at least see what we can do. So we put our heads together and we figured out at the moment what people needed more than anything else was information. So we decided to have a community meeting. About 150, 160 people showed up. The topic there was clearly frustration, fear, anxiety, and we gave them all the information that we could in terms of how to donate, make sure you donate the right things, and also try to put a network of volunteers and specialists together, so when we would mobilize, that we would know exactly where to put the right people in the right places.
Yeah, so take me forward now. Some of the stuff that you guys have been doing, and I know you've got some activities coming up.
That's correct. You know, we've been meeting with public officials both on the local, national, international level, actually, to try to identify resources for the people of Puerto Rico. We all know it's easy to just donate stuff, but at one point there was a big traffic jam in Puerto Rico in which the government actually said, stop, don't send anything else.
Very similar to what we heard with
Very similar, exactly. So what we didn't want to do is create a bigger traffic jam. So we decided to wait a little while and then start doing donation drives. We had a donation drive a week ago at the Florian Hall in Dorchester, where we had two 18-wheelers that we were able to fill with goods, with first response items, not so much fans and things like that, but just first response items, no clothes. They are actually right now just about arriving in Puerto Rico. One is going by airplane, and the other one is going by cargo barge. So it should be there by the time this program airs.
Absolutely. Now, what else? I know there's something coming up that the community can get involved with, right?
Absolutely. On July 15th, we're going to be having...
July? No.
I'm sorry, why do I keep saying July? October 15th.
Yeah, you got to say, whoa.
I know. You know, it's still in festival mode. On October 15th, we'll be having a donation drive at the Reggie Lewis Center, where Tito Nieves, a popular salsa singer, will be there helping us load items onto the 18-wheeler. So we're looking to have people, as much people as we can.
What time will that happen?
That's going to be at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
So, but we'll be there throughout the whole day. We'll probably start a little earlier because what we found out is we were supposed to start at 10 o'clock and people were already showing up at 9. Right. So there is a need. It's a special time. Puerto Rico is going through so much. This is just the first phase. You know, there's a bunch of phases that are coming up. We're actually 30, 60, 90-day plan and beyond. Yeah. And then the 90-day plan, what we're going to focus on is actually toys for kids. Christmas is coming up, and there's going to be no lights in Puerto Rico, more than likely, at that time. So we want to make sure the kids are taken care of.
Yeah, and you've been talking to the folks on the island, too.
Correct.
Give us an update on the public schools. I mean, things like that, right?
There is no public schools. You know, we've been getting reports of people drinking swimming pool water, drinking water from creeks. Right now, the health issue is probably going to be the biggest issue in Puerto Rico. There are people that are going to get sick to mosquitoes, lack of medical supplies, insulin, high blood pressure medication. So once again, I think our first response was the first response goods, and then items that have to do with electricity, because there's going to be no electricity for a while, fans, generators, things of that nature, sleeping bags. These houses were flooded. There are no mattresses anymore. So sleeping bags, coats, boots. So we're trying to do it strategically, not just keep sending the same stuff, but try to send it as they need it.
Yeah, there's also going to be, I imagine, because, as I mentioned, Massachusetts is the 5th largest
Correct.
community in the United States. I imagine a lot of family members, people who have family here, are going to be coming here.
That's already starting. It's already starting. A lot of people are going to the western part of Massachusetts. A lot of people are coming here to Boston. And we need to work with local government to make sure that there's things in place so when they get here, they can go to a school. They already have a school. They already have housing. In terms of Puerto Rico, there's a larger issue in terms of how long is it going to take to rebuild. And it's probably going to be, like you said before, at least a decade. So to that end, we need to really become activists and tell the federal government, hey, the Jones Act needs to be repealed. The debt, the national debt that we have, over $70 million, needs to be renegotiated or eliminated totally. Yeah. So once again, there's a bunch of issues that Puerto Rico are going to face in the next 10 years. Right now, the biggest issue is making sure that our people are well and they're alive.
Yeah. The response to the community, I imagine that there's a silver lining there, right? It's been overwhelming.
It's been overwhelming. It really has been. Also, the coming together of resources of different organizations throughout the state. I think that this is very anxious times. In our community, our first response is to react and at times not be proactive. What we're trying to tell people is it's fine to react, but you have to know how to react.
What'd you think of that fund that the mayor and the governor and the Boston Foundation and the Boston Legacy Fund?
We support it 100%. I think it's a great start. I think they're shooting for $2 million. We started a small grassroots fund that's called Boston Strong for Puerto Rico and Friends, that once that grows, we'll probably make a donation to that also. But we want to make sure, like everybody else, the biggest thing I'm hearing from people in the community is they want to know that that money's getting to the family.
Yeah. How can people follow you guys?
They can follow us on Facebook at Puerto Rican Festival of MA, or our website, www.puertoricanfestivalofma.org.
Yeah, I think we've got those up on screen, Puerto Rican Festival of Massachusetts. That's the website. And then, of course, follow you on Facebook. I've been following you on Facebook, man. Those Facebook Lives are pretty good, very good updates. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
And
a pleasure,
this is an ongoing story. I know it is.
We're going to be here for a while.
Yep. All right. All right, brother. All right, when we come back, we'll update you on a couple of important events happening today and tonight that you can still participate and help out those in need in Puerto Rico. All the details when we come back right here on Revista Hispana.